Hi everyone and welcome back to Wbel. So here we have the blind division. So last week we had a win from McRain, myself, Torembar, Alcar and Greatestness. So let's jump into the first fight. Alright, so fight number one we have Alcar versus Unhindered. So Chise, your predictions?
Alright, so for my predictions for Alcor, I am going with the Mace team. It's a very odd team, but I think that Raph can definitely tank a lot of the damage coming in from Unhindered side, and Queen Mashri can definitely put out a lot of damage herself. There's a bit of a threat from the wind, but I think he'll be able to overcome it. From Unhindered side, I chose the 3 UR squad with More the Merrier, Howlet, and Rain. I think that the wind is a very strong lineup against Alcor's side. I don't think that the ice units are very terrifying. And I think Rain should be able to help tank, if there is an ice threat, I think Rain should be able to help with that, as well as having big AoE resistance.
Perfect, let's see if you're right. So on the third side we have Phoebe, Rain and Kefka. On Alcar's side we have Raldor, Mariluke and Perrine. So let's see how it goes. So Chise, what can we expect from this match?
So from this match, from Alcor's side, of course, the one time I don't predict Strike is the time he brings it. So Strike, we know how strong that team is, so that's definitely going to be able to put out some serious damage. We have Perrine against the Rain, which is going to definitely be a huge... Perrine's going to basically be able to do some serious damage because Rain has the negative strike resistance as well as the elemental matchup there. But from Unhindered side, don't disregard the Kefka. Kefka puts out strong damage, stats effects. Kefka's just a beast of a unit. So with the Phoebe support too, to be able to quicken, just like we're seeing right here, that's going to be able to get some damage out there quickly, and being able to, like I said, lap with himself essentially, just get a lot of damage downstream. Whether he can overcome this Perrine is definitely going to be the test of this match here, in my opinion.
So Haste is off, so Quicken is going to be spammed a lot. So Rain is going to go for first damage. So Mariluke is she in range. Rain is really weak to strike. Surprisingly well tanked by that Kefka, who just received a Quicken. So now he's just going forward and chilling. And now it's Raldor's turn. So we have a Helby coming from him. I think it's defense down, if I remember correctly.
That sounds correct.
Oh,
Striker's
a lot of
press
damage
down.
coming from him. So another Quicken is coming from Phoebe. Yes. Oh no, it's Coretta. Okay, going on the reins, but it's not enough. Honestly, I think that Perrine is going to end his life right here. With an LB, I think that's it. Pretty much excessive, honestly. So Kefka, probably for a big IOE that's going to reach everyone, but they'll need to tick. Now Mariluke, oh, big damage coming from Mariluke on that Kefka. Now it's Raldor's turn, what he's going to do.
Oh man, yeah, Raldor being able to go there, that's going to interrupt the casting, and that's going to be very hard. But he does get CT up, so he might get a chance here, but Perrine gets to go next.
Alright, so pardon my French, so now Kefka is down. Oh my, is Phoebe's going to carry this team?
I mean, she does have full life in her kit. If she can re-raise Kefka, and Kefka gets an AoE...
Oh, but it's going on Rain!
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So that Raldor told to that Phoebe not twice. Big damage from Perrine to Rain, so it's Rain's turn now. He really has to do a lot of damage to carry this team. So what is it going to be? Not enough damage, unfortunately. I mean, it wasn't possible, but one man can have a dream. But the dream is dead now. GG. Oh man, it was a crushing defeat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was rough to see. It was unfortunate that Kefka's cast time was just so slow there. If he was able to get off some damage, I think there's a very real possibility he could have one-shot or come close to one-shotting Raldor and Mariluke, but the casting time was just a bit unfortunate over from Unhindered side.
Yeah, I think that the fact that he bring Perrine was too much to handle at first, honestly, only Perrine. So I think it was bad luck, unfortunately, for Unhindered.
Yeah, I think Unhindered made, like I said, a very well a very good judgment call in terms of, not uh, playing around the Perrine. I think, if you are always scared of the Perrine, it's kind of hard to really build a whole team around her. But unfortunately, from in this match, it looks like Alcor was bringing it this time around.
I don't think there's a key of the match, but I'll give my hat to Raldor. He did an excellent job on doing damage on this one.
Yeah, I was, even though I wouldn't say this is a key of the match for me, but I will say that I was just very impressed by Rain's tankiness. Only taking about 3,000 from the Mariluke, and I think it was only about 6,000 or something from the Raldor. For being a unit that's weak to strike, like very weak to strike, I think it's minus 30. That was actually very impressive to see. So, yeah, hats off to the Rain's tankiness.
Alright, let's jump into the next match. Alright, so fight number 2, we have Greatestness against Mohangman. So Cheesy, your predictions.
Alright, so from Greatestness side, I'm predicting the Red Mage team with Reagan, Miranda, and Murmur. With Reagan, there's not any fire DPS aside from Y'shtola to really combat Reagan there. And so I think he's a pretty safe one. And then I think just pairing him up with Miranda and Murmur just kind of makes sense. And just fits pretty well against Malgamin's team. And for Malgamin, I have predicted Perrine, Yrel, and Y'shtola. Going for the strike prediction here. I think Perrine, once again, their only threat for lightning is Cloud, and Yrel helps cover that matchup with not a whole lot of strong wind over from Greatestness side. And Y'shtola fits the cost and is good support as well. So let's see how close I am to this prediction.
So on Greatestness side, we have Zazan, Miranda, and Reagan. On Mohangman side, we have Astrius, Laswell, and Y'shtola. So let's see how it goes.
So it looks like Greatestness saw a lot of what I saw with the Red Mage comp, but opting for the Zazan instead of the Murmur. So not going for the full synergy, but trying to get maybe a little bit of tankiness out of Zazan, maybe trying to get a Steel Heart out there. There's a lot of things that utility that Zazan can offer that I can see why he would pick him instead. But from Malman's side, it looks like he's going with the Laswell, which is a really cool addition that I never get to see that much. I wonder if he's building an evasion route here. But going with the Laswell, the Astrius, and the Y'shtola. So definitely the Katana synergy coming out from the Astrius and the Laswell. So I'm excited to see how this team pops off.
So let's see if it's an haste or a quicken on Greatestness side. So it's the quicken route. Reagan is courage buff.
I like this coming out from Miranda, being able to quicken the Reagan, who should be able to put in a lot of damage. They have Y'shtola with the elemental counter, but Y'shtola unfortunately is a bit of an outdated unit that I think that Reagan still has a good chance of being able to one-shot.
So
wow.
Y'shtola survived, fortunately, but I don't think that it's going to matter because she doesn't have much damage. Laswell, a big chunk of damage on Zazan, so both support units now are pretty much near death. And it's the end for Y'shtola. Next is Miranda. What was she casting? Probably another Quicken. Yes, another Quicken on Reagan. So who is he going to aim? So Astrius. Good damage coming from Reagan, not too low. So now it's Astrius' turn. Retaliate, so yes. Oh wow, so a big chunk of damage on everyone. Zazan's down. Heal back from Reagan. Now it's Laswell's turn and we finish him off. Ooh, it's not looking good for Greatestness now. Miranda, ooh, she wasn't in range for jamming trust. Now it's Astrius' turn. It's going backward to buff. Miranda's turn now again. She's going forward. She's still not in range to do anything. Now it's Laswell's turn. He's also going backward to buff the group. Now it's Astrius. He has the range, cross destruction, 5,000 damage. Now it's Miranda, probably jamming trust. Not enough damage, unfortunately for her. And now it's Laswell, probably just buffing, going forward. Now it's Astrius' turn again. He's in range. He's going to finish her, but I think she still have courage. Oh, but it's LP, so maybe the follow-up is going to kill her. Not enough, but now her courage is... Oh, she doesn't have courage?
I guess I didn't see her apply it in the beginning, so I guess not, because she is on... Oh, she's actually on the Time Mage sub. So because she
Oh,
was
yeah,
using
true.
Quicken, so she didn't have the Paladin for the Courage. So yeah, she never had Courage this round.
I thought she had courage heal back, but I think it's only heal back.
Yes, it's only a heal back.
So since she died, she couldn't heal back. Oh,
Yeah.
that's big.
So yeah, it was big, and yeah, that was very impressive showing from that Astrius and last there. There was a lot of damage coming out from Malcolm's side. That was too much for the other team to really be able to put up with.
Honestly, I don't know what's the key of the match.
Well, like I said, even though I give a lot of props to Malcolm and their side, that timing, that quicken timing on the Reagan was
Yeah.
immaculate. Being able to take 2 turns back to back, and I think it was crucially I think he had a slash attack resist up buff that was able to kind of nullify a lot of that Reagan's damage. Uh, Almost those initial buffs, I almost want to give that to the key of the match because that really helped nullify a lot of that damage. But I personally would probably have to give it to that Astrius attack that I think it one shot the Reagan, and I think it also finished off the Zizan there, and that was just kind of the turning point of the whole match.
Yeah, we can see from the start to now that range really you have to have units that have a lot of range because if not, it's like Lastwell, he died doing nothing.
Yeah, Lastwell critically did get a huge hit. He was able to deal a good 10,000 hit, but for the rest of the match, it was definitely the Astrius show.
Yeah. I got to do a shout out to Greatestness because initially Morning Man went with a 230 team, so it was an illegal team. They decided to redo the game anyway without penalizing Morning Man. So there was a switch up, and I have for Yeshtola, and unfortunately for Greatestness, he has lost. It was a really classy move from Greatestness, so thank you for this, and Morning Man, well played on your part.
Yeah, I agree. That was very classy from Greatness. So appreciate you doing that, and yeah, well played from Malgaman.
Alright, so match number 3, we have Rendell against McRae, a match that we really want to see. So Cheesy, your predictions?
All right, so my prediction for McCrane is a little wild. I don't know how the VCs work, but I think if there's a way to make it work, he'd find a way. So I predicted Lightning, Yerma, and Whisper. I think Whisper was a very good frontline tank to be able to just soak up a bunch of damage. Lightning, definitely, I feel like that Perrine is a very scary unit for his fire units, and I think McCrane could reasonably expect randoms to bring it, so bringing Lightning in as a counter for that, and then Yerma just brings in some serious damage in case he brings Earth units. Alright, and so for Rindell's side, I predicted Flag Glaciella, Eliza, and Liarte, with Flag Glaciella being a strong enough unit that she doesn't really need BC support. She just gets in there, does her job, removes Courage, and has increased hit for units like Sara. I think that's really important. And then he has the backline range support with Eliza and Liarte. In case McCrane brings Saddley, he has the elemental advantage, and Liarte has insane accuracy as well as status effects.
Now the real question is, did Rendell set his initial positioning this time?
Oh man, yeah, that was hard last time.
Yeah, last time I wrote to Rendell and I asked him, was it intentional? And he said, no, I was prepping for, I think it was a mine 6, but it was a mine 4, so the I one was on the wrong side.
Final Fantasy, stop using Roman numerals. They're just confusing.
Okay, so on Rendell's side we have Cydia, Cherries, and Ramada. On McRae's side we have Marielle, Yarma, and Sadali. So let's see how it goes. So Cheesy,
I love how...
what can we expect from this fight?
I was like, I love how I predicted and Flag Glaciella, Eliza, Liarte. So 2 bow units along with the spear unit, and then he has to go and choose 2 bow units and a spear unit I didn't choose. So
that's an aggressive Cherries right there.
Already getting some damage downfield.
But not a lot of damage, and that was already recovered.
So, I mean, that's unfortunate to see. Hopefully, she can get some AP here to be able to be a good factor in the rest of the match. But being baited out in the early turns is definitely going to be painful. But yeah, I'm definitely expecting to see. We've seen how strong missile units are in this map. So the main key is going to be if he can burst them down before they get into range. But with that initial being baited out, it's going to be kind of hard to be able to put out some sustained damage. So we'll have to see if Setia can do some carrying here while Charisse gains back some AP.
Also, I'm pretty sure that McCrane anticipated this because we have Yerma there and she's really tanky for to miss off.
Yeah, and not only and Marielle is just an amazing tank, so her being able to get out there and get in their faces and to soak up some damage while Sadali and Yerma get in range is going to be massive.
So now Setia really has to do a ton of damage right here. Okay, I think we can call this a lot.
Yeah.
So Ramada's going to finish her. Yeah, Marielle's down. So next is Yerma. Is she going to be able to reach anyone? No. So deceptive miss. So we have area resist and agility. Which TMR is it?
I'm not entirely sure. Deceptive miss, doesn't ring a bell.
Sadali going next. Oh, so he's going to finish that Charisse. 1 unit down on the Rendell side. Ramada's going forward with 8 down. I think that at this point we want her to have 8. So Setia's going next. Not a lot of damage, unfortunately. Sadali also can buff area resist and wow. So Yerma just finished Setia. Unfortunately for Rendell, it's done right there. And Sadali is going to heal himself, so no, I don't think that Ramada have the damage, unfortunately.
Oh, well, actually,
I said that.
I was about to say.
The healing down that was applied to Sadali was really huge because he only recovered the 700 HP. So now it's Sadali's turn to go. What is he going to cast? Indoctrination. Oh boy, how much damage was that?
That was a solid 10,000 to take out Ramada there, and that is wow. That is the crane with the win.
Yeah, he's such a beast. He not only he has predicted again the comp of his opponent, but I think he also predicted where he was going to start. I mean, man, that's awful. Come on, McCrane. Be wrong like everyone else. I think that the key of the match was initial positioning. The fact that they didn't have time to get bells or anything on the Rendell side, I think it was critical.
I would also have to agree. I think Charisse with some AP being able to put out a lot more damage from a safer distance would have made the match a lot more competitive.
Let's jump into the next match. Alright, so fight number 4. We have numero 80, myself, against Manta. So, Chizé, your predictions?
Alright, so for numero 80's team, I predicted a Skahal, Schutzelt, Naya team. I think Skahal against Manta's team is very premium. I think it's right now against Manta's lineup, I think it's just a very strong unit. And I think Naya is an A+ support for Skahal. And I think for fitting within the cost, I think Shedselt's perfect because it has the elemental synergy there, and also he is kind of a frontline tank, a little bit of damage for Skahal.
I must say that you predicted the team that I said to you that I was going to bring.
I know. I kind of levered off that a little bit, but it just makes sense. It makes sense. So for Manta's side, I chose Raph, Halloween, Lucia, and Mish. I think, once again, that's a strong dark pairing. Raph is an amazing tank. Halloween Lucia is good against a lot of numerous threats. And it's just a very strong unit overall, and her follow-up can also help deal with the Skahal if he ends up bringing that. And then Mish fits for the cost, but it can also put out a lot of long-range damage.
Alright, so on my side we have Halloween Lucia, Summer Elcirel, and Phoebe. On Manta's side we have Flagbearer, Glaciela, Cherries, and Curie. So let's see how it goes. So, how
All
do
right,
you
my
think it will end?
predictions. My predictions were completely wrong, but but it makes sense coming out from Manta's side. We've seen so many matches that Missile is so strong on this map, so
Mhm.
him bringing Charisse and Curry just kind of makes sense to bring in some strong Missile units. Not only that, but Curry known for being able to put out some Frostbite to really neuter some physical DPS units. Fortunately for Numero's side, he doesn't have physical DPS units, so he has plenty of AP to work with in case that Frostbite does end up landing. And so from Numero's side, like I said, the main key is going to be, just like the last match, is making sure that he can close that gap, get into distance, and put out that damage, because Halloween Lucia and Summer Elsorel, they can definitely put out the damage if you give them the chance to. So uh, that's, once again, I feel going to be the main key of this map, is if he can get in there in range in time. And I said that the AP wouldn't be a factor, but Halloween Lucia is far enough back that this Frostbite could end up being a factor in this match. By the time she joins the fight, she might already have 2 or 3 ticks of Frostbite down. So being only at 100 AP, that might bring her all the way down to around 40. And then the Frostbite getting reapplied
To everyone.
to everyone. Oh, that could end up being a factor, but maybe not. There's a lot of AP from both units.
I wanted to take advantage of the fact that my two books unit have a long range attack, so I wanted to stay in the back and buff a lot and wait them out. But unfortunately, what they did was to do exactly the same and shoot me from afar. So, so they are really waiting me out.
Which is exactly what you really want to see from Manta's side. I'm hoping Glaciella gets in the fight soon enough so that the range units can keep on dealing their thing. But let's see, she's off to the side, so it might be a little hard. And here comes Halloween Lucia. Oh.
So that crap is down. Glaciella's turn, so no damage on Halloween Lucia. It's what I wanted to see. So Cherry's doing some damage to Elsorel. Now it's Halloween Lucia's turn, some buffing. Still no AP, only 3 AP at this moment. Now we have Elsorel that's going to go to attack. Is she going to be able to kill Cherry's? No! So she has like 1% HP remaining. It's going to be critical for the rest of the fight. So is Phoebe going to finally cast a Quicken? Yes, she is. So Halloween Lucia is going to attack, but she only has 3 AP.
And I will point out, last turn she also only had 3 AP, which is why she went for her buff. So she is hurting for AP.
So now Phoebe is done. Cherry's who is she going to attack? And she's going to remove the barrier on Halloween Lucia. That's going to be also critical, but at least Elsorel is going to attack, but not much damage on Glaciella, who's really thinking a lot. She's going to take down Halloween Lucia. At this point, I'm sensing trouble. So very little damage from Cherries on Elsorel. Counter Imperial, and she's down. Now it's a Flag Bearer's turn. How much damage is she going to make? That's a lot of damage, but she has re-raise. So now my Elsorel really has to take her down right now. And that's not going to happen because of AP issues.
Yeah. Oh, the 6 AP. Oh man. The Frostbite ended up mattering.
Yeah, the Frostbite ended up mattering. On my hand, I think I made the mistake of not turning off Haste. I think I should have went directly for Quicken. Also, I kind of forgot that Juries have access to Barrier Break in her kit. It completely neutralized my Halloween Lucia because she couldn't take another 1 or 2 hits from his units. But well, it was really well executed from him. It was a nice strategy. I think that also it went perfectly well as you picture it. So I must give him all the credit. Good job, man. It was really nice playing against you.
Yeah, that was an amazing fight. Like, watching it happen. Like I said, I was on the edge of my seat trying to figure out, like, is Numero going to get reach in time? Are the range units going to stay far back enough? Is Flag Glaciella going to get to the fight in time? So yeah, I was excited to see it. And like I said, it came down to the last 2 units where Summer Elsewhere had enough AP. There was a reasonable expectation that she could have one-shot Flag last year. So that was a really cool match to watch.
Well, there was a lot of key of the match in this fight. Of course, the fact that Cherry survived with only a few HP crippled me a lot. But of course, I must give it to the Frostbite coming from Curie.
Yeah, the Frostbite. I have to give it to the Frostbite. Though I will say one thing that wasn't we didn't comment on that was also, I think, a pretty huge factor is right before Summer Elsorel killed Charisse, she did her reaction proc, which lowers missile resistance, which didn't matter at the time, but also I think lowered wind resistance, which might have allowed Flagbearer Glaciella to get that one shot on Summer Elsorel, popping her repraise.
I was fortunate enough to talk with Manta, who's a really great guy, and now you really owe me a beer. I hope I'll have the chance to meet you again in the playoff and get my revenge, so keep on winning, and let's jump into the next fight. Alright, so last match of the night, we have Torrenbar against Johnny B. So, Chizzy, your predictions?
Alright, so for Turinbar, I am predicting a Jaden, Lucia, Muriel team. You know, I predicted this before we saw the rest of the matches, but now I feel even more convinced because this map is really good for ranged units. I think Muriel getting out in front to tank it is going to be just exactly what the doctor ordered here for Turinbar's side. So that's what I would predict for his team. And then for Johnny B's side, I predict a Skahal, Dario, Naya team. Once again, going with the Skahal Naya pairing, I think Skahal's pretty good against most of Turinbar's lineup. Naya is a really good support, and Dario out there to once again tank some of the damage for Skahal so he's not getting chained down, I think is going to be a very strong lineup for Johnny B. So let's see how I did on those predictions.
Let's find out.
Well, hey, I got one right for the night.
Alright, so on Torrenbar side we have Miranda, Lucia, and Jaden. On Johnny B we have Summer, Lilith, Miranda, and Uni. So let's see how it goes. So, Chizzy, what can we expect from this fight?
Yep, so, just like I expected from Turinbar's side, I finally got one right. Oh my goodness, off to the races. Hold up. I don't even need to say anything. We know what it is. It's a missile comp from both sides. Not really much to say here. We got Miranda, hopefully for Quicken and haste support. Oh my goodness.
That's a lot of damage coming from the tank.
Yeah, that's already just a good start over here from Turinbar's side, being able to take up some good damage. Johnny B's side does not have a tank, but does have the Quicken support, so we'll see what ends up mattering most.
I think that a Quicken will have been better than a haste, so it's the same mistake as me. Oh, Summer Lilith is already down, unfortunately. So on Johnny we have Uni going again. Oh, full barrage, so at least the tank is down. Next is Lucia. Is she going to kill that Uni? Yes, so she one-shot her. So Miranda, okay, it was a Cura. Jaden doesn't have the reach, so he's just moving forward. So Miranda, is she only going to go forward? No, she can reach. Nearly killed the Jaden, but he's still alive. Oh, that's big.
That's huge.
So Lucia will be not... Oh no, that's not only a lot of damage, but also she's disabled. So unfortunately for Johnny, it's the end of the match. Oh boy.
Yeah, it didn't end up mattering anyways, but yeah, that was rough to see.
Well, that was quick.
Yeah, I didn't even get any words in. The first turn of the match, it already started off to a bang.
Yes,
so yeah, that was, man. I want to see the timer on that match because that was quick.
It was the quickest match on the time frame.
If I paid money for that match, I'd want my money back, man. That was that was so fast. Oh my goodness. But yeah, like I said, this is what you'd kind of expect for this map. You got two strong missile comps facing against each other. Turinbar not only had a bit of the elemental advantage with Lucia, but did have the frontline tank and Mariel to be able to tank up some of the initial hits so that his backline units could really dish out the damage.
I think the key of the match was missile. Okay, no.
Yep, that's fair.
Okay, no. I think the key of the match was probably the initial positioning coming from Summer Lilith. I think that she was a little bit too forward, and maybe the tuning on the time age on Miranda. Going with the Quickens instead of Ace will maybe have been a better choice. But I mean, I don't know. I made the same one, so shout out to Tarambar for his team. I think he bring the right one for this map.
Yeah, I would have to choose the same, but for a slightly different reasoning. I think if I were to guess, I think the thought process was that he had positioned on the opposite side to be able to get those hastes off, to be able to have a little bit more setup time, and so the haste makes a lot more sense in that case over the quickens. Fortunate from his end that both sides ended up pairing off right across from each other. Whereas if there's a little bit more time for setup, I think it definitely would have, at least definitely would have been a lot more of a close match.
I would have liked to see Uni more on the side with Bowtie for Hay.
Oh yeah, that would have been nice. But I was also very surprised at Uni's damage. I think he did like a 4K AoE to the whole team, which I don't usually get to see Uni deal that much damage. He's usually there to support Bart or just for the arrow fall, quicken nullification. So to be able to see him deal damage was pretty amazing.
Well, GG for both players. I think it was still a great match, and thank you very much.
Yeah, GG's.
Alright, so it was the conclusion of this week. So on the blind division, we have now McRae, Alcor, and Torambar with two zeros in terms of wins and losses. Me, Menta, and Mohanman, and Greatestness, we are at 1-1, and Raindale, Johnny, and Hummingbird still searching for our win. So honestly, another really great week. It was really exciting to watch from the start to the beginning to the end. GG to all player, and thanks for participating.
Yeah, I completely agree. Once again, I'm in the privileged position of being able to watch all these matches a little ahead of time before everyone else, and I had a blast every minute of it. So GG's to everyone that played, and congrats to the victors. And I wish you best of luck in your matches next week.
See you next week.
Take care. With McCrane, I can never pick McCrane. In fact, these two people right here, I swear, these two people specifically, I can't predict a team for either of them. Like, I look at both of their rosters and I'm just like, it could really just be anything. Man, like, not that I'm right in other cases, but especially with Rindell and McCrane, I just want to throw my hands up, just be like, you know what? It could be Zazan, Valade, Muriel. I don't know. I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm done.